if that's really if that's the new rule now, then we've already lost. We've already lost. So how do we fight this now? Because their propaganda machine that's funded now will have billions of dollars behind this to manipulate an uneducated American public. When I say uneducated, I'm talking about an American public, as you know, where we rank in the world in math and science and literacy, all these things. We're so far behind so many other countries. We have 40 million functional illiterates in this country, 40 million adults who can't read and write above a 4th grade level. If you create a country where the education system sucks so bad, where you make it your lowest priority, and then you want to create some propaganda to easily lead them down the path you want to lead them down, it's a cakewalk at that point. When you have this enforced ignorance, the illiteracy that's encouraged, the C- president who was so proud of himself and encouraging others that was cool. That was cool to be dumb. And that's what we've just lived through this first decade of this century. And now they're going to have billions of dollars to manipulate our fellow Americans. What are we going to do, Amy? Seriously. I mean, as I sit here, I don't have the answer, but, you know, we have your show. What else do we have?
You talk about us and them, us and them. Timothy Geithner, do you think he should be Treasury Secretary?
Absolutely not. He never should have been Treasury. I said that at the beginning, and it was, you know, I joked, I think, about it with you like a year ago. I said, maybe he's just bringing him in to clean up the mess he created. You know, something like a parent would do, you know. Okay, you broke this. Get in here and clean it up. Clearly, that's not what his purpose was for this year. His purpose was there to protect Goldman Sachs, to protect the banks and Wall Street. And he's done a fine job of doing that and making sure that, again, they are back to record profits, record bonuses, all of this stuff.
How does this play in Michigan? That's where you live now, and you live in Flint, one of the most depressed areas in the country.
People are so angry, and I think, of course, this is partly what happened in Massachusetts. And it's partly why Obama got elected, because people were so angry at what happened to their lives, to the economy, to our reputation as Americans, that a country that is essentially still has a huge problem with race, a certain number of Americans were able to put their feelings about race aside because they were so angry at what was going on. That was interesting and somewhat impressive. I think that anger, and the anger in Michigan, we're going to end up with a Republican governor this November. I already see it. I can already feel it happening. I think because people are so upset. I mean, you've got an official unemployment rate of over 15%. Unofficially, I mean, the county I live in is over 20% officially. So you know it's really over 30% at least. People are very, very upset and can now be easily manipulated as people who are hurting have been. I mean, historically, I mean, we don't have to, we know the examples. We're sitting here, you know, what happens when those in power, those who support corporate interests, who support right-wing ideology, they used to call it fascism, they're the pros at manipulating the public when the public is hurting. And so expect to see that, and that's what I expect to see. And, of course, I'm not just going to sit back and let it happen, and I know people watching this, listening to this, feel the same way, but we're going to have to get it together and get it together pretty damn quick, because they're already 10 miles down the road in front of us.
President Obama's State of the Union address, what should he say?
He should acknowledge why he got elected. He should acknowledge why he took the job to serve the American people and then to lead and why those American people wanted him there. And he should apologize. He should apologize for this first year. Yeah, you know, he's actually, I mean, to use the phrase, man enough to do that. I think he has that in him. I think people would be pleasantly stunned to hear that admission. I think the base the next morning would be up out of bed and rallying around him if he said, you know what, I tried a different path. I'm a nice guy. I thought I'd hold out the olive branch. I thought I'd, you know, not rock the boat too much because I know people were nervous about me in their White House. So I tried to be, you know, not threatening. I get all that, right? I mean, he unfortunately has to carry that baggage with him because of the racism that exists in this country. Okay, but now he tried it that way, didn't work. And what he said last week to the banks and to Wall Street, if that was any indication of the change of heart he may be starting to have, I'd like to hear more of that this week at the State of the Union address.
Should Ben Bernanke be out?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, absolutely. But again, they've got that's so locked up. All these guys should be gone. Larry Summers, I mean, they never should have been there in the first place. It is so bizarre that Paul Volcker is essentially the hero of this story on some level. That you know, they shoved him out, and now he apparently is back in. So I don't know what that means, but
what is the lesson of capitalism a love story for what we're seeing today in the United States and Obama America?
Well, capitalism and democracy are the opposite of each other. Capitalism is a system that guarantees that a few are going to do very well and everybody else is going to serve the few. Democracy means everybody has a seat at the table. Everybody. And the wealth that is created is shared amongst everybody. That's democracy. That's the basic tenet of virtually every faith. This temple, the Christian church, Islam, the Buddhists, the things that every religious people say they believe in, that is one of the first tenets of those religions, that we all sit at the table. And that we don't create a society that shoves so many off into the other room. So capitalism has had some incredible victories in the last week. They've had a weak president and a scared Congress during this last year. So they are running a number of victory laps right now. They've been popping a lot of corks. But we, all of us, have to remember that there's more of us than there are of them. There always have been. There always will be. There's nothing to be afraid of here. It's time to step up and take this country back. And, you know, I will climb out of my own personal despair of what I've witnessed in this last week. I will pray for those in Haiti who suffer, those who have died just during the course of this interview. Hundreds, maybe thousands, just during this brief time. And I will demand that my government get help to those people and start behaving the way we expect them to behave.
Michael Moore, thanks so much.
Thank you.
That's Academy Award-winning filmmaker Michael Moore speaking at the Sundance Film Festival here in Park City, Utah, the nation's largest festival for independent cinema. If you'd like a copy of today's broadcast, you can go to our website at democracynow.org. When we come back, a national broadcast exclusive, a Haitian New Yorker who was almost deported to Haiti right before the earthquake. Who knows what would have happened if the U.S. government had followed through. Stay with us.
Mardi Gras mal masqué. Une ouais punta devant un défilé. Port-au-Prince à la côte entendez. Mardi Gras marché le charlendé. Avec musical. Mardi Gras m'a bossé mouillé. Mardi Gras m'a bossé mouillé. C'est la première fois que je suis arrivé. Mardi Gras va tête nous gratte soublé.